Hey everyone, Sean here. Before we get into part one of the DC FanDome talk, I thought it was important to bring up two unfortunate deaths that happened recently in both the heavy music and pop culture worlds. In the heavy music world, of course, we lost Riley Gale of Power Trip, a very important band for the heavy music scene. It's always awesome when you see a more grounded, hardcore, DIY mentality type band break out into the mainstream a little bit. Of course, they toured with Cannibal Corpse, Danzig, Hatebreed, Trivium. Anytime you can see something like that, it's awesome and super important for the scene and everything involved. And so sad seeing someone lose their life at such a young age. And then, of course, in the pop culture world, we lost Chadwick Boseman this past weekend. Of course, you know him. He played James Brown in a biopic. He played Jackie Robinson in a biopic. And, of course, he was Black Panther. Obviously, the effect this movie had on the industry as a whole, not even the superhero genre, is untouchable. Nominated for an Oscar. As soon as he took the role as Black Panther in Civil War, I knew he was going to be a special character. And it's obvious with all the videos being shared around social media, even the post about Riley from Power Trip on social media as well, that they both touched a lot of people and affected a whole society in a very positive way. And it's terrible to see two people who have had such an impact to be taken away from us at such a young age. Even though they're gone, their legacies will not be forgotten. Power Trip's albums are topping charts right now, and Chadwick Boseman's career is obviously captured on film, so that's never going to go away either. Rest in power to Riley Gale and Chadwick Boseman. And now we're going to get into part one of talking DC FanDome. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Metalcore Nerds Live. I am here today with a special co-host, Joel, the Cupcake, Haston. How are you doing, brother?
You hear me? Hi.
Hi, how you doing, man?
I don't know if he can hear you.
Oh, can he not hear me?
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you. I'm trying to make sure you...
Yes, I can. Shit's going good. Shit is going.
Oh, hi.
Cut out again?
No, I think there's a delay. What is up?
Hi.
Yeah, I'm Felipe.
Yeah, so we have Felipe and Abe here.
I'm Abe.
For everyone watching live, sorry for the technical difficulties. I don't know what was going on there. The 5G is taking over everything, I think. Skynet.
Skynet. Elon Musk.
Oh yeah, it is. It must be the brain chip. That's what's affecting everything today, I think. Oh, I cut out. I said it's the brain chip. It must be the brain chip that's affecting everything today.
Brain chip.
We don't have it, so we can't fully...
I got saltine crackers.
Yes.
Oh, I don't have any snacks up here. I feel left out.
Ooh. Thank you for me. Yeah, I'm pulling out the pretzels. There we go.
Hell yeah.
Pretzels.
This is Metalcore Nerds Live, also snack time.
Mm-hmm. That one.
Snack time, like.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Get your protein on.
Yeah, man. You gotta do your thing. I understand. It's fine.
Right?
So what is everyone, before we kick into
This is great.
The DC FanDome talk, we're talking about snacks, but what has everyone been into lately? What has everyone been watching, reading, anything like that? Joel, what have you been into other than playing video games on the internet for people?
Honestly, I just got a new day job where I'm working like a real estate company. So I've been like learning how to do like photo editing and like video editing.
Ooh.
And like bulk ordering, like average. I've been doing that, bro.
Nothing else? Just that?
Playing video games.
Hell yeah.
Playing video games, walking my cute ass dog. Like that's it, dude. I'm not caught up epically. Yeah. Been real stoked on all this DC stuff coming out. You know what I mean? It looks promising. Avengers game drops next month. I'm still really fucking stoked on
next
that.
week.
Yeah, I've just been playing video games, dude.
Hell yeah, Felipe. What do you?
With that.
Oh, okay.
You can
There's the
liquid death,
plug.
bro.
There's the plug.
Oh, it's invisible.
What?
Not now.
It's invisible 'cause
It's down here better.
Yes. There, I can see it. Good plug.
Okay, great
I will
plug,
hire
Joel.
you.
Great plug.
Thank you, Sean.
Felipe, what have you been into lately?
Working. I had to get a job, so not a job I like, but it's a job nonetheless. I've been reading. I just got done reading like a month ago. It's like the last thing I read. I've been really bad about keeping up. I've been looking for Saga. Can't find it
Really?
anymore, but I'll find it. But yeah, Doomsday Clock's the last thing I read, and yeah, Saga's been like sold out. Like
Austin's
the
books
store I
and
go to.
comics. Have you tried Austin's books and comics?
Yeah, that's where I go.
Well, around here.
But if you go to Barnes and Noble, I guarantee they have every Saga book there. If you have a Barnes and Noble near you.
Ooh.
Orange and really?
Yeah, Barnes and Noble has the most insane collection of trades
I've been in a
ever.
Yeah.
And I've been reading House of Powers again because I kind of fell off of that for a bit.
It's a good one.
House of Power. What was that from?
It's a X-Men.
House
The
of
new,
X, Powers of X.
it's the new X-Men books. Yeah.
Oh, dang. Yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
minute for me too.
I have the first
yeah.
5 volumes after House and Powers, which it's sort of weird because like volume 1 is number 1 of every issue of the runs that came out of House and Powers, and then volume 2 is number 2 of every issue and stuff like that. So I have up to 5, but it's on 10, 11 or whatever of each run. So even I'm
like,
not up to date either, but I'll get there eventually.
So much up with.
Yeah.
I think I'm up to like 7 or 8. Like, stopped reading them.
Yeah.
It's dumb, but I'll get back to it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the great thing about comics is they don't go anywhere, and they usually don't get spoiled for people. Usually,
Yeah.
sometimes they do, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, I have now the
DC Universe.
app on my Xbox, and there's been some comics I've been eyeing rereading. But I haven't started it yet. I've been a bad nerd lately. I've been playing a lot of video games.
I mean that's still a nerd thing.
That's a good kind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fine.
true.
I might have to dive into the games because some of that DC stuff look great.
I'm saying, I'm stoked on
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah,
dude.
we'll get to that. Abe, what have you been into, my man?
The Knights one, and we'll get to
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's gonna get brought
Oh,
up.
for sure. Abe, what have you been into lately, my man?
So I worked at Stubbs, and as we all know, the music industry is like one of the first. I've literally been doing nothing. I've been sitting around at my apartment, trying to avoid going out as much as possible, just to, try and flatten the curve. But so I've just been hanging around, doing nothing, and devoting that time to playing video games. Like I 100% Spider-Man game with the DLC. Like that shows you how much time I had on my hands.
Yes.
And honestly, really great. I'm actually stoked for the new one coming out in the winter. The one with Miles Morales.
Same.
That one's gonna be so good, honestly. And I've just been doing that, and I'm in a band, so I've been like trying to write, and yeah, it's been one crazy time. This year has been something else.
Oh yeah, it's been a weird one.
Yeah, that's all I've been doing. Is just
That's
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I mean, I've just been, trying to work and trying to get back in the flow of doing regularly weekly podcasts and stuff. I've been very bad at it, but I'm trying to get there. The FanDome thing.
When you do it, it's awesome.
Yeah, the FanDome thing it kind of ignited a fire a little bit because it was almost like what I thought Comic-Con at Home was going to be. I was pretty stoked with Comic-Con at Home because I've never been to a Comic-Con. I always just saw, obviously when Marvel does a crazy Hall H thing, the flood of news coming out and everything like that, and, and whatever trailers drop. And then Comic-Con at Home happened, and even looking at the panels, I was like, oh, sick, I'll definitely like watch some of the panels and stuff because it's free. I could. Oh, sorry. So I was trying to watch Comic-Con at Home, and I was looking up the panel times and stuff like, oh, what should I watch? And everything I looked up, and I was like, man, there's like nothing cool. Like I watched most of the New Mutants one live because I was figuring they were going to announce, it's going to be on Disney Plus in 2 weeks or whatever. Obviously, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then
you get to watch it.
Yeah, and then I watched the boys panel after the fact, and the only thing, like, because Comic-Con is supposed to be a thing for news, and the only news came out was that, oh, hey, we're getting season 3 of The Boys, and that was it, which was cool, but that's not like Comic-Con news. That's I'm scrolling through Twitter and I see it news. You know what I mean? It's nothing.
I still haven't watched that yet.
Wait, you haven't watched season 1?
The Boys.
Yeah, because I want to watch it. Like, I'm waiting to watch it with her. And we're wrapping up. We're wrapping up High Score right now on Netflix. So I don't know if you guys
I haven't
watched
seen that.
I'm on the 3rd episode now, but the first 2 amazing.
Dude, John, you should watch that. Doc, I'm gonna watch after I'm done with this. I'm gonna watch the one you'll watch the Michael Jordan
dude,
one.
that's so good. It just made me want to play basketball.
Yeah, but yeah, no, high score. I know, high score just made me go like replay all my old video games, bro. Like,
literally, yeah.
Because it's literally like
I heard about that
people
one.
that, like,
Okay,
yeah. Dude, it was kind of a sleep. It looked good, but like the music's great. All the stories are rad. It doesn't. It's not one like brand or company centric. That's what I love about it. It's like unbiased, telling you the history.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Right? I would say that's the best way.
That's very. Yeah. So.
There's just a lot of diversity.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So speaking of The Boys, that's one of the things I've been doing is I started reading the comics of it. There's 6 omnibuses. I'm near the end of the 3rd one. It's so wild because I did it with Umbrella Academy too. I read the books after I watched the season because I kind of wanted to go in blind and not know what was going to happen, and then read it after and then kind of compare the similarities to them. But The Boys is so wild because the overall story is kind of the same, but the way they execute it is completely different. Mostly because they modernize it, but the vibe and tone of it is so exact. I've never seen someone carry something that's like just on flat paper and bring it onto a screen and have it be so the same. It's crazy. And they take straight up panels from the comic and recreate it in live action, which is always, I love when anyone does that. But yeah, it's because people have been asking me like, oh, you're reading The Boys, like how close is it to the show? And I was like, it's weird because the story is really not the same other than the basic premise and like the characters and stuff like that. But I was like, it's totally different. Like in the book, they're already working for the CIA, and that was it is kind of a spoiler, not really, Joel, but like she's trying.
Fine, I'm still gonna watch it.
He has a relationship with a head director of CIA, and like the whole thing is them trying to work for the CIA and stuff, or be funded by it because they were before, but now they're coming back and reforming the team and stuff. But it's cool to see all the differences. But Joel, you're gonna love that show. It is fucking wild. That's the only way I can describe it. It is just wild.
No, like all the clips I've seen and everything I've looked up on it.
Oh yeah, I have yet to check it out, but
What are you doing, man?
it's on the list. It's on the list. I've been checking out like everything, like the highest score. I'm trying to get into Titans because I just got HBO Max. So, and
let me tell you, it's a little rough. Like it can be a little slow.
Yeah.
It take real long to get you the storyline payoffs. But when it comes, bro, oh my fucking god, dude! Like,
well,
that's what I hear.
That's the opposite for me.
The imagery is great.
Really?
Well, so my thing is, Sean, it's also the last Teen Titans I watched. Like literally the entire plot.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I know a lot of people are like, whatever, and this is like the 4th, 5th time they've changed but it's still the same basically.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You know, and Titans, so like the whole Starfire being cast a little differently, I guess, doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? Like I guess they changed her story,
A little.
and I know she's like a kid.
I mean, they're all
Right?
kids usually.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all a
or
bit
skin tones
younger.
like orange.
Yeah, or something. Yes, orange. There
Yeah.
you go. I don't know why I said purple. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, I loved him, and let me tell you, like, I'm assuming like you watched DC FanDome, right? So you saw him in the Nightwing suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, when that happens, like the moment when you see him drop in that suit, I fucking like. I don't get excited about DC. Like I'm like a Star Wars nerd, like a Marvel nerd. Like
Same.
some DC stuff kills me, but like that was like this is fucking tight. Like not
Yeah.
only is Night acknowledged on like a bigger platform, like a comic,
Yeah.
or an
Exactly.
animated show. It like that dude, fucking part in my
Yeah.
opinion. You know,
He
not
looks-
every. I know. Yeah, like
That's
And then I-
exactly how I felt about Winter Soldier when they finally brought him into the MCU. Because Winter Soldier always been like one of my top 3, Doctor Strange and Agent Venom. But anyways, so when Winter Soldier came in, I was just like, are they gonna do it right? Are they gonna stick with his like original backstory and like all that? And when I saw Winter Soldier, the Captain America Winter Soldier movie, it blew my. I was like, how are they gonna tie this in though with the rest of it? And as they kept going on with like Civil War, I was like, okay, they did Hidden Justice. So like seeing that makes me want to go watch that because it's like I know what they're trying to do and
Yeah.
they're gonna try and make an underrated character.
and you know what? I think you're right, but I know Sean disagrees with me on that. But I think that he is like grossly underused. Like they did
He is.
Winter
He's
Soldier and then Civil War beast out. You know, because obviously Sebastian's showing up for the fucking filming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, like he was basically like the other apex of Civil War. Like,
Mhm.
you know? And like then it just boom. Then he's just like, oh, the Wakandans are healing him.
Yeah, so he's gonna go in a coma. Like,
Or something. Yeah, then what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. I used him a little bit more, but that's why I'm also stoked they decided to give him like put him in a TV show, the Falcon
Yeah.
and Winter Soldier. I'm 100% like happy that they ended up going with that instead of just like shelving him and doing
I
nothing.
mean,
with
his
his
story isn't over.
Yeah. That's the thing.
I'm just saying he could have played a bigger part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The most iconic thing he's done since Civil War is his fucking like one line he shares with Rocket about the gun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think it's time will.
but yeah. You can't rush this shit.
I'm like Infinity War and like Endgame. Like I think it was clearly based around like the closing of like the first 5 or 6 Avengers.
Right.
I can't remember.
But that was
This,
the beginning.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I also feel like they're saving a big chunk of the story that we're all gonna get, and just the whole Disney stuff that's coming up. Winter Falcon and Soldier. It's like the one thing that I've been like looking forward to because
Yeah.
I've been reading like the leaks and stuff, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
Well, no,
super.
I'm
excited.
pumped. And they did it. They did like completely acknowledge that all the shows are have 100% to do with the movies going forward. You know,
Yeah.
which is something they stole from DC, but we're not. We can talk about that
100.
later.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if they stole it from DC because I mean they enacted that plan like forever ago. I think almost DC stole it. Not. So here's the thing with DC. I think DC finally saw. Oh wow, they're doing a thing. They're finally connecting everything because Kevin Feige went and goes, every show you're getting canceled. We're only going to have the Disney Plus shows and they're all going to connect. Everything's going to finally make sense. And then DC goes, wow, we have about 50 different things that none of them connect. We're going to do...
Yeah.
And they were already doing Crisis and they're like, yo, multiverse.
Flashing
We're
light.
going to connect
Yes.
everything, which is genius for them. Genius. I'm not saying they did it bad or anything, but I think they saw what Marvel was doing and they go, we have a leg up on
Well,
this.
but
Let's
like, so I would definitely say anybody watched like they definitely connected, but there was never a direct relation with
Yeah,
the movies. The show referenced the movies, never referenced the shows. Marvel did start, then DC was like, we have up, and they did it. Ezra actually was like, yeah, I would love to do that. I think that's tight. Because like, I don't know if you all that little like joke beef that was on Twitter like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Where everyone was like, and then like they both tweet the same thing, like don't forget, like there's a there can be flashes. And they both were like wink facing each other and shit. So like I'm like so happy that it ended up working out. Like so that would be excited to see that. But anyways, sorry, Wonder Woman 84. That dude, I loved the first. Like it was just done great.
The first one was really good, actually. It just, it took me by surprise of how, because you know, like movies before that for the DC universe, just wasn't that strong. And when I saw Wonder Woman in theaters, I had the same expectations. I was like, here we go. Let's see what kind of train wreck DC pulled out. And then I watched it and I was like, holy shit, I think they finally found their stride. And it looks like with this one, they're going to keep that momentum going. The only thing I kind of had a problem with was the CGI for Cheetah when they showed them fighting.
That's
like,
my one thing too.
I like the design, but it looked kind of like just blocky, smudgy. Like it didn't look as vibrant as like they made the new Steppenwolf armor.
Yeah.
That it looks so much more clean than when like we saw it in the last movie. But yeah, so I'm hoping maybe it's just like, since this is like a trailer, they're still like working on editing and whatnot, and they like clean it up. But other than that, yeah, everything about it, the chemistry between her boy toy that comes back, which I still don't really get, but yeah, the comedy relief and all that, and the action, it all looks badass. I'm actually pretty stoked, and if we weren't in a pandemic, I would definitely check it out in theaters.
Yeah, I mean, I think my only, I agree with you, but I also, it kind of bummed me out, like some of fight scenes, because they're, especially with like how they're promoting that movie as like vibrant 80s colorful boom.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it looks so good, and then like you have villain doesn't look that tight, but then like all the scenes where they're showed is like dark, and it's like if you're gonna go a vibrant movie, you need to actually hit the opposite.
Kind of how
not
like
just
Thor
like
Ragnarok did.
yeah, or it's not like, dude,
Exactly,
this it's not like, okay, this is like just a regular night scene. This isn't like something like dark and dreary. That's what I want on the flip side of like a bright ass movie, like the fucking scene where they're flying on the plane with fireworks and shit. I'm like, oh, that's fucking cute. Then like the opposite of cute is that's not fucking cute. And that's I didn't see that. So, but you know, her seeing, I don't think I've ever been more psyched for something is when I saw her using fucking lasso to swing from the lightning bolt.
That was
That was
riding the lightning.
that was straight
baby.
up one of the most badass scenes in a trailer I've ever seen, ever.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for it. I think I'm obviously of like a Latino heritage. I'm stoked for Pedro Pascal to be in a movie. And he's I can't remember the name of his character, but I'm assuming he's like another like secondary villain in the movie.
Maxwell Lord.
He's the villain.
I think he's going to be the actual main villain, and he kind of helps Cheetah get the powers and stuff like that.
Because he wants like power. Yeah, he wants an artifact off the Mascara, if I remember correctly. And so he actually gets Cheetah powers. He like drives her jealousy. He's like mentally encouraging it. But I believe he's also acting like a friend to Diana through the whole.
Yeah, I think that's how
and
Steve Trevor comes back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure back as like a distraction or as like a false offering to Diana to like get them on good same team. Right. You know what I mean?
I love the first one. It was one of my favorite DC movies up until I would say. I love Chris Pine. I loved him as Kirk. So I'm just stoked for it. It looks awesome. I'm super stoked for it. I can't believe I've spent more than one DC property, but here we are.
Yeah.
We were
Sick.
talking about Wonder Woman 1984. Yes.
Wonder Woman.
And I'll
Yes.
weigh in on my Wonder Woman thoughts, I guess.
Let's hear it.
I've been
Hit me
very
with it.
stoked with this movie from the jump. I loved the first Wonder Woman. My only qualm with the first Wonder Woman, which has seemed to be a big DCEU fault, is that the ending and the villain usually sucks. Like Man of Steel, incredible movie, but the ending is just like a fuckfest fight for no reason, really.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it kind of played into BVS a little bit, but in the same thing with Wonder Woman, it's so funny because Sam loves Wonder Woman, but I was like, "Who is the villain?" And she's like, "I don't remember." And I go, "Exactly." I was like, it's not taking away from the movie, and that's actually more credit to the movie because the rest of it is so good that the ending of it doesn't even matter."
Well, isn't this, I mean, I understand I would say the story of her is like, that seals out her badassery. That's
Yeah,
Ares,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
that the boss?
Mhm.
So I like how I call it like a video.
Is that the
That's the final
final?
boss?
Is that the final boss?
But yeah, no, it's like it's Ares, but it's like putting her past behind her. But I think that first movie is all about like inadvertently falls in love with Steve. You know what I mean? And then these first it's like showing why she has such an unwavering faith and defense
Oh,
of
yeah, for sure.
humanity. You know what I mean? Like, and she puts the whole like I'm basically a god thing behind her, and defeats Ares at the same time. Like, oh, I see what you mean, Sean, but I feel like the movie.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like the ending is whatever, but the rest of it is so great that it doesn't even matter. Like that's more. It's like Black Panther.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the movie's amazing, but the end fight scene sucks. It's not good. But that's beyond the point. But this trailer is dope. I guess I'm one of the only ones who didn't mind the cheetah CGI. I've kind of seen it both. People are like, "Wow, it's terrible." Someone mentioned in the chat that it could not be finished, which the only way I'm kind of against that is because it was already supposed to come out in theaters. So if it's not finished, that's kind of weird a little bit. Because like we'll talk about the Snyder Cut trailer later, but obviously like Darkseid is not finished. That was more of like a previs thing, and someone in somewhere on the internet was like, "How is that not finished?" It's like this has been done for years. And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, Darkseid wasn't in Justice League, the one we saw. Obviously, I was like, all the other stuff he had to pay $50 million to finish it. So it's like, obviously, it's not finished. Like we don't even have a date when it's coming out. We just know it's coming out next year. So it's like it could come out summer next year for all the fuck we know. I'm sure they're trying to rush to get it out so we have something to watch, but because that one's a little easier because it's not doing a theater thing. It's definitely coming out on streaming, so that they don't have to. Because like Wonder Woman, that was another thing, is that it's supposed to come out in October now, but all the promo now just says coming in theaters. We'll see when, but.
Yeah.
I think it'll come out in October still because if Tenet is dropping next week, which, like Nolan had such a fucking, he won't even show it in drive-ins. He'll only show it in theaters. So if that's coming out in select theater, well, not select, it's wherever theaters are open, pretty much. It's coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why Wonder Woman won't, unless Warner Brothers is like, we need to make the most money out of this possible, and we're going to wait until everyone is open, which could be a possibility too. Who knows? But
yeah, I got an email about Tenet, and I was super stoked about that movie. But now I'm just like, I'll wait.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I'm with you, Sean. Wonder Woman. That's my favorite property currently because like Aquaman was good and looked great, but that's the last Aquaman animated movie I watched. It's literally the exact same.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I mean, I love that movie because it was like a superhero movie with a comedy or with like a romantic drama in the background. That was the heart of the movie with the parents. I love that shit. And
I love it. No.
I love that one.
It's just like Wonder Woman was like, I think I just attached and this kind of refreshing.
No, yeah, it was sick.
Me.
I mean, it was.
You know what I mean? Because it was
like the first female-based superhero movie, first big one. Well, I mean, obviously there was like Catwoman and Elektra and garbage like those movies. Not saying that they were garbage because they're women led. It's just because every comic book movie that came out in that time period was mostly garbage.
Yeah.
I never even saw Elektra, and I fucking love Jessica Alba. So,
It's Jennifer
wait.
Garner.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, there we go. See, I even have it backwards. That's how little
I
that
mean, I love Jessica Alba too.
Even though Ben Affleck's Daredevil has a special place in my heart, and I get shit on for it all the time.
I mean,
I love that movie.
rightfully
The
rightfully
Punisher.
so, being shit on for that movie.
The Punisher that gets to kill John Travolta.
Colin Farrell.
That one still
Oh.
holds up.
Oh no, the Punisher, John Travolta. Okay, I thought you were talking about
That's
Bullseye
Bullseye.
and fucking Daredevil.
No. The Punisher movie where the Punisher kills John Travolta. That one
Oh,
still holds up.
In the chat, they were saying
Yeah.
Jessica Alba's in Sin City, of course, but she was also in the first two Fantastic Four movies.
I love Sin.
That's what
That's
it was.
my
I don't know.
favorite.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought she was Elektra. I'm fucking. Who played Elektra?
Jennifer
What was that
Garner.
again? What was their name?
Jennifer Gardner.
Pat Gardner. That's fucking right, dude. They both start with a J, bro. It's fine.
Whatever,
I'm in the right part of the alphabet. It's fine, dude.
Yeah,
We'll let it slide.
we'll let it go for this one.
I obviously didn't see them.
You don't need to watch it. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just avoid
Yeah,
it at all costs,
For real.
please.
All right, so
All right.
someone in the chat mentioned the Flash movie, so we can get into that. So there was a lot of news that came with that. I'm guessing this news leaked before FanDome, and they were kind of meant to announce it at FanDome. But Ben Affleck is returning for
Yeah.
the Flash movie, and then also we got that new concept art, which they didn't say it was Michael Keaton, but that was Michael Keaton in that concept art.
But it,
It's Michael,
So
for sure.
I fully believe, we'll get to everyone's thoughts after this, but I fully believe that this is going to be Ben Affleck's swan song as Batman. It's going to be, because there was talks that in Justice League Part 2 or whatever that, you know, he was going to like go out sacrificing himself, and it was kind of be like the whole story arc of him trying to kill Batman and then ending up, you know, like sacrificing himself, to do to save the place. I've always I liked Ben Affleck as Batman. It's just the movies he was in were very whatever. But I recently watched the BVS, the extended cut that's like 3.5 hours long or whatever.
I need to watch that. I haven't watched it yet.
Makes way more sense than the actual movie, because I remember watching the movie in theaters and being like, that was so rushed. Everything was in the fucking trailer. Like,
Right.
this sucks. Like, but then watching the extended cut, it's on HBO Max, so it's up there. And yep,
Oh, it
that's
is?
where I watched it.
Huh?
And
Ooh.
it's way better. It fleshes out so much more story,
now like everything now.
and it's just way better. And it got me more excited because now that we have that, and it was like, okay, that makes way more sense as him as Batman. And then now they're kind of retconning Justice League with the Snyder cut, and then now we get him in the Flash movie. It's like, cool, now we're kind of getting some respect in the movies that he's also in. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, Batfleck sucks, but it's anyone who's been cast as Batman has been scrutinized in one way, shape, or form. I saw someone on the internet post that The Dark Knight was a terrible movie, and I almost jumped out of a window because it's one of my favorite movies ever. But
Yeah, I don't know how. Like, my thing is, I think a lot of these people, like, they don't realize the different elements of the Batman and character. Like, for example, when I were talking about the Batman coming up, Sean, I know we're gonna get to year. It's like year 2. Okay, I know what year 1 Batman is, but I had to go look up what year 2 Batman. I was like, huh? Like, I didn't. So like, there's so, and Batfleck is playing.
yeah, kind of like
He is
Dark Knight
he's-
Returns
he's
ish.
he's like been Batman. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, he's been Batman. Like, I'm tired of doing it. I can't save the world by my fucking self, but I also trust no man or no woman or I trust nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, watching him realize he can't do it by himself, but he doesn't want a team. So it's like, you know, you don't have. It's also the first time you don't have like suave Bruce. Like, he's not out there trying to sleep with all the ladies.
Right.
Like, he's just like,
George
I have my mission, and that's it. Exactly. You know, it's like he's like, I have my mission and that's it. And that's the first time we've ever seen that Batman on screen.
True.
So of course a lot of people aren't gonna like Batfleck. You know what I mean? But
that's why I like about all the different iterations, even George Clooney's Batman, is that obviously there's so many different takes of Batman in the comics. So being able to see all these different, Batman throughout my whole life is awesome to even look back on and everything. Like,
I definitely agree with that. Because the way I see it is I see it as like multiverse.
Yeah.
So like we got the cheesy always cracking jokes with the Batman and Robin, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, Bane, and then we get the serious Bane, and it's like, this is different, but you still enjoy it. So it's like, all right, so this is just a different story in a different universe. It's a multiverse.
Yeah,
I think that's the joy of comic book movies is that you don't have to look at it and be like, oh, well, this has nothing to do with the other one. This is irrelevant. No, you can just look at it and be like, this is another telling of this story, or this is a new story. This is new for me. And I like the idea of multiple genres.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Character.
I think my only complaint is, no disrespect to Zoe, but why Catwoman, dude? Like, okay, look at what's going on in the world today. Why not have a total empowering, just drop dead, sexy Poison Ivy, and then you fuck with everybody and make her a lesbian?
This is why. This is why.
With Margot Robbie.
This is why. Because I believe we're going to get way more into the Batman later, but this is going to be super grounded. And maybe they'll get more into the more like fantasy, powered people later. And we've only had one good Catwoman, and it was 20 years ago. And if this story is going to be based on Hush or Long Halloween, Catwoman is an insanely integral role in a relationship with Bruce Wayne and Batman together. It's Selena Kyle and Bruce Wayne, and it's a very big part. So I think, and especially because they've been talking about this being multiple movies, and I know it's kind of scary, putting the cart before the horse and saying like, it's going to be a trilogy. So they've kind of tread lightly on it. But Matt Reeves has said like, I have a vision, like I want to do more than one movie. So especially if they're doing that, and he even talked in that panel. The panel was amazing of him talking about.
That's honestly what changed my mind is hearing talk at the panel and his ideas and explaining where he gets his influence from and his artistic vision. I was like, okay, I have a much different outlook on it now because I was not on Team Batman before.
I was nervous.
I was 1,000. We'll get back to
Batman doesn't.
We'll get back to the Batman before we get way too off track. But the Flash movie, it's supposed to be based on Flashpoint. I do believe it's going to be a little like opposite of what Flashpoint does. Flashpoint kind of it was almost like a crisis event, and I think it's just going to blow the multiverse even more open than it already is, because obviously Crisis condensed the CW verse a bit, not fully, but almost everyone is on the same Earth for the most part. Stargirl is on a different Earth, and then like they split up Titans and Doom Patrol on different Earths because they were on the same Earth, and the movies are on a different Earth and everything like that. Like everything is kind of still. They said they fixed the multiverse, but they really didn't. They just saved the multiverse. And I definitely think Flashpoint is going to explode the multiverse out more than it already is. Because obviously, the whole premise, he goes back in time, saves his mom, and fucks everything up. The only thing that I heard reports, well, I guess it was an interview with Jeffrey D. Morgan, and I was hoping we were kind of, in Flashpoint, I was hoping we were going to get like an Enter the Batverse kind of thing, where we see we see like a million Batmen in the movie. But I guess Jeffrey D. Morgan pretty much came out and said Michael Keaton took my part. So I was hoping he would be Thomas Wayne in the Flashpoint movie when he goes and fucks everything up. But apparently it's Michael Keaton's going to be like the older character to kind of help him out through stuff, which is cool, but I'm a little bummed out.
I have a theory with that.
Lay it on.
What's going to happen is in the Snyder cut, I think, because this is supposed to take place after Justice League or during Justice League, right?
I think I was going to bring this up. I mean, the Snyder Cut trailer is after this, but I think the Snyder Cut directly leads into the Flash. Like the events of that are going to lead
That's
into the Flash.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think literally it's gonna be like Batman and the Flash. They're the only ones left, and he helps him like do the time travel. He goes back. He tells Batman, Ben Batfleck, like we saw in the last movie, and then he goes back, and it's gonna be like a completely different world because he did that, and he has to like figure out like what's going on. Like maybe it's like kind of like an Injustice scenario.
Ooh.
Or maybe it's literally, Batman, he was like the last one, so he's now older because he was like being a hermit because Darkseid is literally like ruling over everything like an empire. So I feel like the Snyder Cut is going to lead directly into like the Flashpoint, but it's going to be different from Flashpoint, like because Flashpoint involving Thomas Wayne and all that. I think this one is going to be more set on the story around Justice League Snyder Cut.
Yeah. Well, the real thing is we don't know who the villain is in Flashpoint yet. Like, is it going to be the Reverse Flash and the murder of the mom?
Yeah.
Does he go back for another reason? Maybe in this new Snyder Cut, maybe they're sending us through the wormhole and they want us to do what we're doing. Maybe at the end of Snyder Cut, he's just going to kill Batman, and that's why Flashpoint happens in the first. Maybe he goes back to save Batfleck.
Maybe,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh,
like they could, without knowing the premise and who the villain or villains are in Flashpoint. That there's endless possibilities, and they know that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm excited.
I feel like Charlie Day with Ford, just like this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I hope Grant Gustin makes an appearance.
Me too, 100%.
The other thing I think maybe somehow something's gonna happen where like you said, Batman it's swan song. Like I think Flash is gonna reset everything, and Bruce is gonna be the only person that remembers, and he'll be the catalyst to the Flash, like resetting everything to the way it was. And then when they come out on the other side, you get stuck with. That's when we have Michael Keaton. Yeah. And I think Michael Keaton is the change, and Batfleck is the sacrifice.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I read somewhere that like the leaked information, quote unquote, is that like going forwards, the Justice League, they're not going to do another Justice League for like a long time, if at all. But like Batman is going to be in the Watchtower or Overwatch or whatever. There's been a couple different monkey ears of the person who name, and it's going to be Keaton. So it won't be Batman. He'll just be. But he'll appear to all the other. He'll help all the other.
Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond.
Start.
That's what I've been saying.
Batman
Beyond.
Dude, they already broke the internet with FanDome a bit. But if they were like, "Yo, Mike, we have a surprise guest," and it's Michael Keaton, he's like, "Yeah, I'm here to announce that in 2024, Batman Beyond coming out," people would have been like, "What the fuck?" But maybe it's still coming.
Well, I mean, the best way for them to compete with Marvel is
not to, yeah.
Well, is not to, but is also to like, if they can make Justice League, you know what I mean? So if we get like post Flashpoint Flash, Wonder Woman, and then we get like a Batman, like a new Batman, like a Batman Beyond. Like if they find a way to use the retellings of everything and then go off what Snyder's doing, because you got to keep in mind all the properties are going to go off each other, and HBO is developing Green Lantern and a Justice League Dark movie.
Yes, J.J. Abrams, baby.
Yeah, so they're doing both those things. So we might end up with like a Young Justice League or whatever.
Young Justice,
and then Shazam is also tying in the GLA. So I know we're gonna get to that later. Okay. Sorry, Sean. But like with all of that being done together, like you could revisit a lot of the storylines that were already visited on Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow and Flash on TV by having, you could even have your own story of like the JLA versus the the
JSA versus Justice League.
Because that was a comic book arc, if I remember correctly.
Probably.
Right?
I think so.
You got Avengers versus X-Men. You got JSA versus JLA.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, dude.
Wash Cruiser.
Yeah. But,
anyone else have any thoughts on the Flash?
I like the design of the costume. Tight. It's really like nostalgic. with the little the what the fuck are they?
The, like
The
antenna
god, whatever.
things. Oh yeah,
Achilles?
yeah.
Well, they look like the wings. Is it Achilles? Not
Oh.
Achilles. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Perseus? Isn't it Perseus?
Right.
Or...
Is it Perseus?
I
Where
think it's
the mythology
Yeah.
behind the
I forget.
wings on his head.
It's been a while.
But yeah, it's nostalgic because when you grew up watching like cartoons of the Flash, like that was his suit. He had like the weird yellow
Chat says
antennas
Mercury.
or wings.
Mercury.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, even in the DC shows, I just. All right, go ahead. I'll speak my mind here.
no, go ahead. I was
do
done.
it.
I was basically
do
saying
it.
like I like the nostalgia.
I guess one of the shows that I normally did watch a lot was like the Flash stuff. So I'm hoping we see a lot of the like different incarnations of the Flash in that movie. I'm obviously stoked because Michael Keaton is Michael Keaton and he's Batman and he's always forever Batman. And just those concept art look fucking amazing. The suit looked great. I think it looks better than what he had in Justice League.
The football pads.
So I just 100. Yeah. I just 100% on board with it. I have to rewatch some of the panels and stuff that they did on it, but I kind of kept up with it at work, and then I got in trouble for it. But I mean, it's another one of the properties that I'm super excited about because, I mean, I don't know I think they're not using Ezra's script anymore.
No.
Right?
Yeah. Well, because he was doing one with Grant Morrison, which obviously, if you don't know, if you're not a super into the comic person, Grant Morrison wrote, I believe, Bendis wrote, maybe he wrote Flashpoint, but he wrote a lot of Flash books. He's a very famous comic writer, and he wrote one with him. But now Andy Muschietti, who did it, Chapter 1 and 2, is doing the script and directing. So it's a completely new script, which apparently is like the 4th or 5th or 6th or could be 10th script at this point because there's been about like 15 directors attached to this this project at this point.
I'm excited. I'm also bummed about Jeffrey Dean not being in the movie, or at least to our knowledge.
Yeah, they could be swerving us. Who knows?
So because I've seen like the fan art, like Boss Logic, like Flashpoint Batman, like Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And I want it. Are they gonna give it to us? Who knows? But I mean, it's there.
Yeah,
it's there.
Well, I would love. I think one thing that the DC shows have gotten right is they've paid homage to the fans and to the properties, no matter how shitty they came first. You know what I mean? Like if in Crisis, the event that set it off was him having that vision on another planet. All those JLA members that are dead, like that's the original costume from fucking Smallville and shit. So like they keep doing little nods like that. So it would be rad if the guy that plays Barry's dad on the Flash TV show, who was the first Flash in the 90s, if he sees, if like Ezra Miller's Flash sees Grant Gustin's Flash and the OG Flash all at once, like maybe there's just a little, even if they just see each other when they're all running through the Speed Force tunnel, like he like gets all freaked out. Even just that, I'd be like, game over. Like I'm it's lit.
That'd be a good way to end something. He's just running and then he looks over and he's like, oh shit, he trips and he's like, what the fuck was that? Credits.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be great.
I'd love to see something like that. Like you said, bro, I'm so stoked on the new suit. It's like it's a throwback to the people who love the Flash, but it still kind of has some cool modern, like almost like biometrics attached to it look like. You know what I mean? Like that's definitely gonna be the suit that can restart his heart. Yeah, I'll definitely be like, it's definitely like a nano suit.
Some Iron Man vibes for sure.
The question is, who
Michael Keaton.
No,
it's been said. Yeah, it's been said that Michael Keaton is the one who builds it for him, which is tight.
That's so sick. That's so sick. I'm so ready.
I've had this in my closet for years. Here, where bam.
He did it so he knows his weakness. Like I built his suit, so if he goes AWOL, I can stop him. That's what Batman does. Yeah. He has all of those secret files.
That would be really cool. Yeah. Because Keaton obviously can nail the villain role, as we've seen. That would be sick.
I would love that. Joel, you want to take us into our next story?
Yeah. We got so I'm so jazzed on like everything we were talking about. Let me reopen our little synopsis.
It's
Sorry
okay.
there,
It's
brother.
okay, man. It's okay.
Dude. So this Zack Snyder Justice League trailer.
Woo.
Holy shit! The first 5 seconds is Dark Side, and I don't think you need to say anything beyond that. Really.
That could have been just the trailer, and
Like,
I would
okay,
have
I'm
been
good.
like, sign me up.
Yeah. Well, it's like, dude, like he looks sick. The new Steppenwolf looks fucking badass.
Terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Looks way
I will
different.
say, I really hope we get some sort of nod to. So, like, Marvel is really good at making the properties match what's going on in the comics currently.
Sort of.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I hope we at least get more Lex Luthor. He tries to help and is duping everyone, like what's currently going on in the multiverse TV series. You know, like I don't know if you guys are caught up, but I watched most of the episodes of like Supergirl and shit after Crisis. Lex Luthor is actually
Oh yeah.
no, he's the president. Like he worked with Flash and Supergirl to save Earth. So he took the Book of Destiny. That because if you watch the Crisis crossover at the end,
Yeah,
Lex,
the Book of Destiny, yeah.
Remember Lex has like he's Superman, like Superman gets deleted and it's Lex. He has the Book of Destiny and that's what he. So like the whole second part of Supergirl is all just like that, and then Martian Manhunter and Supergirl are the only people that remember. So they have everyone's structured differently, so they have to. It's almost like, what's the comic? What is it? House of M. Where like Logan's the only one that wakes up and remembers what happens, and then he finds that random little girl that can touch everybody and they remember.
Yep.
That's basically what John Jones is in the show. Is like Supergirl has to get everybody cornered, and then John like appears and like fucking makes them remember everything.
Oh yeah, he does that.
Because
he does that.
remembers.
Oh yeah, he does that in Crisis too.
Yeah. Well, he does it in Crisis, but it's still going on.
He does it to all like the main character. Ooh, cat. Hello, kitty.
And because there's even like an episode in where when Scott comes back from the future, and even he knows that Lex Luthor is like a good guy and president, and they're like even the future's wrong, and so he has to like zap him, and then he's like, what the fuck? Like Luthor has everybody duped. So like I'm wondering if Lex is going to play a bigger role in the Justice League. And then also, I'm hoping
that would be sick. Yeah.
You know how I think a big feedback for the Flash has been all of us hate that suit. Everybody, I think the reason it's bulky is he built it himself, and he can't control the lightning. He has too much power. I kind of hope they touch on that because like I think he even said like I want to tell more of the Flash and Cyborg story. But then the thing that caught my attention the most, one of the panelists or a Twitter person or somebody asked him like, "What's the thing you're most excited about Justice League?" And like what something you can tell us that's not a spoiler that is the crown, is the shining moment in the movie. And he basically goes, we're doing something with the Flash that's never been done in any Flash property or in any movie in general. Some part of the Flash's story is like it's just going to be like something they're doing is bonkers, which that's why it kind of makes me think maybe it's like you're getting all four Flashes at something.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it's definitely going to be him being like the portal to the multiverses, and he's going to end up like he's going to be like able to like hone that ability, so he can just like do it more often. So you're going to be able to get maybe more, same characters and at once because of him. And of course, that's never really been done. Even in Marvel, you only see that maybe one movie, but like not alike. In this, Endgame. So like that was like the only really movie that you really dealt with time travel. So I feel like with the Flash, if they figure out a way where like he hones that ability, then he's definitely going to be able to just like bring in a lot more people in more ways, but at the same time. I'm stoked on that.
This trailer was nuts. Waffle in the chat said it was better than the movie. Prove me wrong, and I'm like, that's not saying much because that movie was not good. For one,
I
for being like it's like obviously everything gets paired to the MCU because the MCU's kind of built something that no one's ever done before. It was like their Avengers, and it was only 2 hours long or something. Like that's crazy for like that level of movie. And then they didn't have enough building up to it. But like I said before, with the expanded BVS and everything, and this going into it, maybe and this being 4 hours long. Hopefully we get the story we need to keep going, because one big common misconception is that like since BVS and Justice League were so like shitted on by everyone that everyone just dropped DC and forgot about it, and then everyone forgets that Wonder Woman came out after Justice League, and
and it was great, and I loved I actually just watched like 2 weeks ago the Harley Quinn movie.
it's awesome.
I fucking loved it. Yeah, Birds of Prey. It was awesome.
Good movie. Yeah.
I feel like some of the characters could have been done better backstory wise, and like I didn't like the way Huntress looked, but that's just me being picky. But like the movie was fucking great. Like I loved the humor level.
Yeah.
Like I loved all of it, dude. It was sick, dude.
Yeah,
I loved that the cops are fucking drunk. The detective. Like I love that she's just like. And it's like,
Renee
dude,
Montoya.
This is like a dark, funny, quirky movie, and that's what they should be. They need to stop trying to compete with Marvel. They need to Detective Comics.
Yeah,
be grounded in reality. Like, the other thing I was thinking about, back to the Justice League thing, Sean, with Snyder's comment, is I think that they're for sure. Maybe that makes me think they're saying, "Oh, we're doing something that's never been done before anywhere." What if in Justice League, I'm right, and something that the Flash does kills fucking Batman, because Batman's never been killed before on film.
Maybe.
Good point.
It's very possible. Like that's the cool thing, is that they were giving me a little bit of like recent Marvel vibes, is that you don't know what the fuck they're gonna do, which is always way more exciting than anything. And and dude, like I said, Birds of Prey. Felipe hit me up once. He's like, "Yo, you saw Birds of Prey, right?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I saw it in theaters." He's like, "How was it?" I was like, "Yo, it's like if Deadpool and John Wick had like a weird DC baby." And that's literally what it is. Like straight up.
I honestly stand for her. Dude, she was my crush. But I like you were saying, Joel, how like you didn't really like her like design or anything, but like if she's grounded, more serious, that's how I expected her to be.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
And that, Sean is right. Like that did resonate with me, Sean, when you were like they're doing the more real bad guys. Like it's all, you know what I mean? Like they're letting Superman deal with aliens, and they're dealing with the more real bad guys and not some of the other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry
but,
about that.
No, you're good.
It's okay, brother.
Good, dude. As far as Justice League goes, like 4 hours. 4 hours, 1 hour per episode. I am stoked on it. We're gonna get hopefully a little bit more flushing of like him assembling the team. I'm coming out of that film. Wonder Woman's going to be the leader of the Justice League, not Batman.
That's possible.
I think we're going to get vulnerable. Okay, because think about it. Like at the end of the last Superman film, well, okay, there's Batman versus Superman. Like he's dead, but like a lot of the whole thing was like, oh, maybe I'm not. Maybe I shouldn't use my powers. Maybe I'm not. Like you've seen him falter, seen Batman like go back on his. I can't do I don't need it. He goes back on that. So like it would make sense that all these Flash doesn't even have a name or know how to use his powers. Cyborg hates his actual. So Diana's gonna be the like, hey, Bruce had this idea, but like, who else does the world have? Like, we're good people, and good people need to save everyone, if they're good or not. Who else is going to deliver that message in the consistent piece?
Sure.
It's only going to be her. Everyone else is too dark or a child.
I mean, Shazam is literally,
and especially because if you go to the
child.
No, I mean, that's a good point, and that makes perfect sense for sure.
I'm the most excited. Yeah, I'm the most excited for like obviously seeing it be a better fucking movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really hope they scrap.
I just
most
want
of
more
that.
info.
I really hope they scrap most of that terraforming nonsense.
Well,
You know what I mean?
that's what's in.
And
Yeah.
by nonsense, I
Yeah,
mean,
well, I think it's gonna look like
Like
how
a
we
delivery?
saw in the trailer and in the even that teaser where it's like Darkseid and all those huge ships tearing shit up. Like that's what obviously what I think it's gonna look like more comparatively. They showed us.
if we can super hope, super like I know it won't even happen hope right here, but if you guys watch, did you guys watch Dark Apocalypse or whatever the fuck it was?
Oh, the
When he has
latest
this-
animated movie, right? Apocalypse War or whatever.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay,
And,
so in that Darkseid sends the means to like mine the Earth's core. They're gonna kill the planet and terraform it, right? So the three machines, everyone on Earth can't beat them. One machine gets taken out by fucking Swamp Thing on its own.
Oh
He's
shit!
like, why are you hurting Mother? And he grows like huge and just like goes inside the machine and just rips it
Damn.
apart and like shatters it. It's sick. So if you haven't watched that,
Yeah, I need to watch it.
But like, I'm hoping that we get like those machines coming to Earth and like we get a little. Maybe we're gonna see some little other cool
That would be
shit
sick.
thrown in there, and like I would like the characters. Like there's the story to be flushed out. Like, yeah, I'm stoked for better graphics. Obviously, I'm fucking Darkseid. The thing I'm the most excited about is watching, Superman in the black suit kick all their
Dude.
asses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you know
Oh,
that
yeah.
scene's gonna come. You know there's
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
like 20, like literally probably 30 minutes of just Superman's awake and they're all fighting each other.
Yeah, because
You know
that
what
was
I
that was
mean?
my biggest
Like-
problem with Justice League is that in the beginning they set stakes pretty high with Steppenwolf coming and just leveling Themyscira, just like making them look like child's play. Because when I remember first watching it, I was like, oh, okay, like this dude's for fucking real. Like he just leveled these motherfuckers like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Superman gets resurrected, it's like the movie's just over. Like there's no stakes. It's just like Superman wrecking everyone. You're like,
Fucking go
cool.
ham,
Like
yeah.
the whole final sequence is just worthless. You're just like, yeah, they won, obviously. Sick. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
like
else?
sweet.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you guys think we're gonna have some weird like in-game Infinity War like implications where like clearly like the MCU wasn't the same after like the events of Thanos?
Well, let me.
Do you feel like that we're gonna end this movie and then we're gonna be like, holy fuck?
Definitely.
That's what
I think it depends on how it gets
Show.
received. I think because obviously there's so much hype behind it that some of it is not going to deliver, or some people are going to hate on it, or whatever.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
it delivers and it's sick, I think it's going to retcon the first Justice League even happening. I feel like they're going to come out with a statement being like that was an Elseworld story. It doesn't matter,
try.
like whatever. It doesn't, and everything going forward is. Or maybe they already are just like going to say like, yo, this is what's happening going forward, especially if the Flashpoint, especially if it leads
Yeah.
right into the events of Flashpoint, it has to be canon to the DCEU, you know what I mean? They can't
Yeah.
just say it's not happening if it leads into something that's continuing everything else.
See, when,
Well,
Exactly.
Yeah. The brain wheel is turning in my head and building off what he just said. What if that's how it fucking ends?
Exactly.
Is say it ends and fucking Darkseid kills Batman.
Yep.
And so the movie ends, they defeat Darkseid,
In time
and then
to-
Flash
to
goes back
change
in
it.
time to res Bruce. And then that's how it fucking ends.
Dude, that'd be
That's it.
epic.
Like he goes back in time and reses Bruce, and Bruce like doesn't remember what happened. Or when they're like, oh, like he's like, I had to save you after we defeated Darkseid, and then it's gonna end on a cliffhanger of Bruce being like, what Darkseid? And then like boom, that's it. Just the
Your
Justice League
Batman
movie.
voice kills me.
And then it leads. I know, and then it like
Evil.
like
Yeah.
it could be a totally. He could be right, man. It could be like a total in fucking.
That's
to
what I
me-
think it's gonna.
because to me
I
that's
think
what the first Justice League movie like. And maybe it was my fault going in with like this mindset of like, okay, like they didn't really build us up to it. It's just kind of there, but I am going to be open-minded about it. And then I went in and I was like, whoa, this sucks. And I don't know. And I feel like
Oh
I-
man.
the stakes are high. because of all the other stuff that is behind the Zack Snyder cut of the movie. So I feel like maybe it's just from that shot of Darkseid on Earth, like just leveling everything in like the first seconds of the trailer. I was just like, this is the Darkseid I know. Like, you know what I mean? So, and like Steppenwolf in the first movie, great, and then like Sean mentioned, Superman just came back alive, and then it was just shit. But, I just feel, I don't know. I feel like that's the kind of, to me, that's almost like the tone they're putting into it. But I feel it's more of a like, this is like his vision. So I don't know if they're gonna like. I mean, maybe I missed the panel. I missed the panel for sure, but I don't know if they may ever mention like him, like Zack Snyder, kind of being like the catalyst of the future of the DCEU, in a sense. But I mean, to me, this movie almost had like in-game Infinity War.
I think they were vague about that, but I think they put all their properties on HBO Max. Yeah. So like, this is kind of make it or break it, you know? Like, I know everybody that's obsessed with the TV universe, it wants to know. I mean, even if everybody else doesn't, I want to know what the fuck's going on with Greg Berlanti doing Green Lantern, and there wasn't even a mention of Green Lantern at.
I just think they don't have. I think since the pandemic, I think everything got pushed back so far. They have done nothing. That's what my biggest guess.
Well, I mean, that's true. That's true too. What if all the HBO Max properties is all hinging on how Titans and Justice League does? You know what I mean?
The original. I mean, I might be wrong here, but I read somewhere that the original had like some stuff to do with like the Green Lanterns, like Earth, or like his planet, right? Like there was like some mention crossover of it. So
I think he originally wanted to tie in the whole like that, like even the Lanterns were the only other people that could fight Darkseid, basically.
Okay.
Because even if you watch, I think it's Apocalypse War. One of the movies, one of the things he does is after he does take over, like he goes, the only other place that's ever been able to stand up to me, and then he goes and fucking destroys Oa, and goes after and hunts down all the Green Lanterns. That's like what he does, because he literally says, "This is the only power left in the universe that can stop me," because, well, Superman's not dead. I don't want to spoil it for you. That's serious, but basically he's like, was Superman out of the picture or like not a threat to me, I fucking, let's just say he cables him. I'm gonna leave it like that and let you guys use imagination. He cables him, and so it's like Superman's not a threat, so the only threat left to me in the whole fucking universe is the Green Lanterns, and so that's even in all the other properties. So I would love to assume there's at least a mention.
I will lose my shit if we get some. One of them.
Yeah, that would be very sick if something like that was included for sure at some point in the movie.
Yeah. Even if it was like, like the boombox is open, or whatever they're gonna call the portals in the movie. I forget what they were actually called. But I mean, who knows if I'm still gonna call it that? But like, the one thing that would be tight is if Darkseid does this, like, bring all my army here, and like the boom tubes open. And out of one of them is a bunch of the dead creatures, and like the lantern comes with, and it's like, hi, I'm fucking Hal Jordan, and I protect your sector of the universe, and I'm a green, and then like Darkseid knocks him out, and then he just starts fighting with he starts helping the Justice League.
Sick.
You know what I mean? Like we get we get just some balls to the wall like intro, like no backstory. Fuck you, I'm Green Lantern, and he comes in and like kind of helps save their ass.
That'd be sick. Very sick.
Because you have to set up, like, in all the comics and everything, there's always banter, Batman and Green Lantern.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of how they do stuff, who's right, who's the better cop, detective, whatever, you know what I mean? So, like, if Green Lantern shows up and backs up the team in the final hour, Bruce's ego is going to be shattered. So that'll set up their little, like, banter for the, you know what I mean?
Great.
Yeah. But, I mean, either way, the Snyder Cut's going to be, it already, just the trailer alone, like Waffle said, it's better than the last movie. Fuck it, I'll agree.
What if they bring back Ryan Reynolds?
I saw that rumor. It'd be kind of cool.
I can see that. I can see him pulling that shit, being like,
especially after what last month he did all those interviews where they were like, him and the director of Deadpool were like, Marvel has no plans, no Deadpool video game.
Oh
no Deadpool
no,
movie,
that was
fucking
Rob
nothing.
Liefeld's. That was Rob Liefeld just being old man yells at cloud. That's all it was.
I mean that's fine. I don't care. Like, what if they use that to their advantage and Ryan's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go be.
Because like Ryan Reynolds literally posted a picture of him at Marvel Studios. You know,
literally.
like you don't post a picture like that and there's no plans. Like Rob Liefeld is just like a crazy person now. It's like him and Alan Moore are like the comic people that are just old man yells at cloud for no episode. I feel like Rob Liefeld and Marvel must have had a huge falling out with something somewhere along the lines, and he just like anytime he gets a chance to talk trash on like MCU, Disney, Marvel, he'll do it. Like I don't know what happened with that, but seriously, anything. He's like, yeah, they have no plans, and I'm like, how are you don't? He almost in the same interview says, I don't know what they're doing, but they have nothing, and it's like, what?
They're like asking him about the weather.
Yeah, it's like what?
It's not.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Oh well. I mean, that would be tight if we.
It doesn't mean that Ryan Reynolds can't show up in other places. Almost everyone nowadays works for anyone. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Yeah, I would love to see that, or like the other rumor that I am praying for is that in the new trailer when Martha shows up to see Lois, that's actually John Jones.
Yes.
That's some crazy shit.
Yes.
So like,
what?
I mean, dude. I mean,
He posted that in the group. Felipe
Justice
posted that in the
League
group, and I was like, wow, that's wild.
You can't have. Oh, that was you that posted that in the group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, dude, cannot have the Justice.
Well, it's like in Crisis, right? The one guy. So up to Crisis, I hadn't watched any of the TV shows except for like the one episodes where like Cody was on like Arrow because I'm a fucking mark.
That's fine.
So to me, like that was super cool. Like you didn't like I don't know. I think to me, like you're watching Justice League the movie, is Zack Snyder's version, and then like you're like, oh shit, Martha's back. Here, everything's gonna stop again. No, it's like it's fucking Martian Manhunter. That'd be like I don't know. I'm expecting this movie because like it's gonna be like.
I know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know with like a bunch of the shit that Zack Snyder kept putting on Vero that Martian Manhunter was supposed to be included in the story. So I just would never have thought of Martha being Martian Manhunter. I was like, what? Like I was like, that's just crazy. Like I wasn't even trying to downplay it or anything. I was just like, that's wild. Like I would have never.
Because you know he's going to be watching.
Of course.
Clark more than anyone, because Clark's the most dangerous. He's going to see Batman and just laugh. You know what I mean? He's going to be like, "Oh, okay, you're a human. You're just watching out for your planet. Tight." You know, maybe. I mean, he probably knows who it is. You know what I mean?
Probably.
But if you look at John Jones, like the culture and the way character's always been displayed, the only two people he's probably scared of are Superman and Cyborg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Cyborg is basically walking Skynet.
He is walking Skynet.
Fucking I know. So, but dude, in that Justice League in the Dark Apocalypse War or whatever, the one that you guys haven't seen, dude, the way they like truly how powerful Cyborg is. It's insane. That's all I have to say. Like
that's what's up.
Yeah. Like it's not a spoiler, but like basically you don't see him the whole time, and then when they go to Apocalypse. Like they go to attack Darkseid. That's the whole premise of the movie. And you show up and you hear him yelling, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And he literally has just ripped him apart, and he's on the wall in the throne room, and he's mind bending. Fucking name. Why can I not remember his real name?
Which one?
Like what's Cyborg's real name?
What is his real name?
It's not Ray, is it?
That's
Ray?
that's the actor's name.
It is Ray.
Victor Stone. Yeah, that's it.
Victor. And they're like Victor, Victor, where are you? And he's literally, it's like his whole body is ripped apart and separated, and you see the wires, and he's embedded in the wall in Darkseid's throat. And Darkseid is controlling him, and he's controlling Darkseid's entire army. Like, he is more powerful than technology I'd already had.
Holy fuck!
That's crazy.
And they basically admit that. So like,
Sold.
so like I'm excited to see, like, more of all of him and the Flash, especially because he's even at the panel. Snyder says this movie's about Cyborg.
Yeah, he's the heart of the movie.
Like he was supposed to be the heart of the movie.
I think the Snyder cut, that's what I'm hoping for, is that we're gonna get a lot more details about the Flash and about Cyborg, because we didn't get shit about Cyborg in that movie, and I was really disappointed about that. I really wanted I wanted to see him transition, if anything, more. From him being like the football star and everything, to his accident, to like him just figuring out how to use his body when he figures out all that. I wanted more of that, and also with the Flash, because like there's just some things like, oh yeah, like how long has he had his power? How do he have his power? Who has he fought already? All this like stuff. Does he know how to control his power? Because obviously we see in the trailer, when he saves, Iris,
which
right?
Iris wasn't even included in the movie at all.
That scene was cut out. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, but he saves her and he's shoeless. And everyone was like, why the hell is he shoeless? And it's like, well, because he doesn't know how to control his power. He burns out of his shoes.
Yeah.
So I want to see more about how he like tackles his control over his power when he just like is starting to become more of a hero,
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna get a little bit more of that in this Snyder cut, and I can't wait to see what he left out.
Yeah. The Cupcake himself is gonna lead us off with this next one.
All right, here we go, boys. This is what we're talking about now, dude.
What's up?
I am a sucker for a man other than one man on the face of the planet. He is my favorite wrestler of all time. He is the highest paid actor in the world. He's our future president, and he's the fucking champ, and he's the electrifying man in the universe.
On Earth. Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson, aka Black Adam.
Ooh.
I am fucking ready. Now, I love the fuck. If he was like, yo, I'll be your friend, but you have to delete 50% out of your life, I would delete those. Like, I am a fucking boy. Like, dude, if I could drink with The Rock for an hour, I could die a happy man.
Paramount.
I have a giant bottle of it.
He posts about it constantly.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that you know what I do and don't post. That's why I love you. Anyways, Black Adam. I'm gonna come right out the gate and say, I do not want Rock being Black Adam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's an anti-hero.
You took my thoughts.
And the thing is
this is crazy.
The thing is, I know I told you I was gonna surprise you, Sean. I had a conversation with Bob Marmonte. He plays guitar in that metal band Zenith.
We had the same conversation.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, he hit me up. He texted me literally and goes, "That was really underwhelming." And I was like, "Listen, there's JLA, which is gonna be fucking
JSA.
Oh, sorry, JSA. Sorry, I'm too excited.
I know, it's okay.
Hawkman rules. Most importantly, I never thought if you scoured the pages, heroes, the anti-hero trainers, as us wrestling fans would call them, in the DC universe, I would never have thought that they would do Dr. Fate on the big screen because of the finality and the totality that adjective I want of his fucking powers. You know what I mean? Like when they did him in, it fucking shook. You know, it shook Clark Kent because he learned the truth and he learned how it ends. You know, and like I've never seen anybody mentally shake Superman like that before. The fact that they're doing him on the big screen to me is going to be insane.
Yes.
I'm very excited for Black Adam. I love Shazam. I'm assuming Black Adam is fighting the Justice at first, something.
Maybe.
Or they're on opposing sides and then they end up beating the person together. That being said, I would die for The Rock, but I don't want to see The Rock beat Black Adam. Like I want this to be the movie where Wayne shows that he's a fucking actor. Like, okay, yes, you can have huge muscles. Yes, you can punch people in the face. Yes, you can make me stupid, small, do what you punch. Like, I don't fucking care. know what I mean? Like all that is, and he can be funny and he can be family oriented and he can be do shit for adults.
Yep.
But like you
Like
need
the
to
Scorpion King.
yeah, like he needs to
Bro.
be
Great example.
Bro.
listen, he literally needs to be the Scorpion King after doing like a whole bag of cocaine. That's what he needs to be, Black Adam. Like he needs to just be in fucking sane. Like because like he needs to be the Scorpion King meets Judge Dredd. That's what The Rock needs to
Yeah.
be for this movie. Because Black Adam, he deals out punishment as he sees fit. He's judge, jury, and executioner, and it's so hard to imagine The Rock being such a like this is it, and not convincing and selling.
Yeah.
Like he has the powerful presence. He has the he has the bod. Like I'm living. I'm here. I mean, like, but I don't want it to just be another Dwayne Johnson movie. And I do. Rob texted me that, and my initial thought was the fact that I stand for The Rock, and Rob was an idiot. But now that I've had time to process the conversation, it's fucking true. Fucking right, man. Like,
yeah, he messaged me the same thing, and I was like, no, I totally agree with you, and I'm with you, but you can't judge anything. The only thing that has me worried is that obviously they did that cool animated like featurette thing, being like, this is what the story's gonna be about a little bit, and at first I was like, oh, it's just The Rock narrating, and then he goes like, oh no, I'm Black Adam, blah blah blah, like him doing, and I was like, man, it was the same exact thought. I was like, it cannot be The Rock being Black Adam. Like The Rock has to like step up and be like, yo, this is Black Adam. This is not The Rock as Black Adam. Like if that happens, I feel like it's just going to be a flop. Like I don't think it'll be a flop, but I think people will shit on it hard if it's like that.
Yeah. And I love Dwayne.
Oh yeah.
I've also been after this role 10 years.
Yeah, he produced Shazam too. So he's like in it from the
kind
jump.
of think he's gonna deliver.
Yeah. His production company produced Shazam, yeah.
Oh shit! I had no clue.
Yeah. So I'm ready. I'm I liked the little animated stuff. I thought it was hyped.
Cool.
I think it's important. I also think it's important in the world today. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say Marvel hasn't quote unquote said anything, but like it won't make Captain America black on a movie. They have to do it on a show. Just throwing it out there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Hold on, Sean. Let me finish.
Come on,
man.
man.
My thought.
Come on. Oh yeah, we're not giving him a movie. We're just giving him a 6-hour movie on a premium streaming service.
And listen, which is still tight. I agree with that. But my point is that when he talks about the show, he gets to emphasize the fact that the character is a slave. Like I love it. You know what I mean? He got to really build on. That was like his little nod to what's going on. I just think it was tight. And like Dwayne is excited to play the character for the right fucking reason. I think it'll be good. I thought it was hilarious that it was the Dwayne Johnson.
Just him.
Like no producer, no director, nobody. It was just him talking.
Well, him and the other guy, but yeah, it was him. Yeah. They brought in Adam Smasher. That dude rules, but yeah.
Yeah, I love that they're. I thought it was cool. I gave him limelight. That was sick. Like I said, I'm pumped. It is gonna have a few funny moments because it's the Shazam universe and it's The Rock. But like, if he can be like this menacing character, like I'm there for it.
Yeah, 100%.
And then I love the whole time he's just
with Superman
and Black Adam.
Love it.
Like the whole time he's just for that. Like I was like, I guess my main question. I don't know. Are any? He's the person on the least.
I know a good amount. I am not an expert on Shazam, no, but I know a good amount.
So I thought Black Adam hates Shazam because Shazam is given Black Adam powers. Or is it like they share like a powers, and they're each equally powerful? Like how does because like now that the family they all share like a certain specific personality trait being good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
like how does like
he was given the power. He was the first champion. Like he mentions it in the Shazam movie. Like I had a champion before, and that's why it took so long for him to find another one because he didn't want the same mistake to happen. But I think I'm not positive on this, but I think the thing where he keeps his powers is because they imprisoned him and they didn't like strip him away of the powers, which I don't really know if you can strip away the powers, but I think that's another part of why the other guy was getting weaker, is that someone else already had the Shazam power and he's like holding on to the rest of it, trying to find the new champion to be his predecessor and everything. So I don't think he knows anything about Shazam because he's just been trapped in whatever the fuck he's been imprisoned in for hundreds or thousands or however the fuck long it's been. Obviously, I do think there will be a conflict in Shazam 2 probably between the two. I would imagine, or it's leading to like another thing after Shazam 2 would be like the conflict or whatever.
Yeah, because they released, I think it was last year, they did an animated like Black Adam versus Superman movie. And like in the movie, Sam flies up. Like I could tell there's magic being tie-in, and he comes in, and then Black Adam makes like a
right
and gave
the
powers to something like that. He like thought the wizard doesn't know.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's like a more like he doesn't know who Shazam is, but like he, like once he sees him, he'll be obviously well aware of where he got his powers from. That kind of thing. And I mean, another thing with Black Adam is that I'm pretty sure he's always just in that form, not like where it's like he goes to Billy Batson and he says Shazam and he becomes Shazam. You know what I mean? Same with all the kids. You know, they're all kids, and then they say Shazam, and they're the superhero versions of themselves and everything. But yeah, I have the same thoughts. But don't come at Marvel like that. Black Panther, dude, get out of here. Crazy.
Well, like I'm just saying, like.
I mean, Disney and Marvel have been pretty outspoken about that stuff.
I really liked the delivery. Not trying to downplay him.
Well, I know, but don't say giving him a streaming service show is like less than a movie. I feel like that's on par. It's like the same budget. They're giving him more story time to tell his story. And it's not like he's not going to show up in other movies after this. You know what I mean?
I hope. Right. I hope you're right. I hope we get some sort of Young Avenger, Falcon. Actually, I mean, honestly, no. That would be Captain America. Not even going to have that conversation.
You can't have a terrorist be Captain America. Just saying.
Listen.
Boy.
Winter Soldier should have been Captain America, but
thank you.
About the.
He has blood on his hands, dude. He can't have blood on his hands
But that would have made a great story arc. Is like people are like, well, we can trust him now, and then other people are like, no, we can't. He has blood on his hands. Yeah, you can, because.
Can you know?
Yes, because didn't Wakanda like fucking fix his brain?
No, he's not fixed. No,
they never acknowledged him.
They fixed his arm.
No, they fixed his brain.
They gave him a nice arm.
There is an arm. There is a line where because in Infinity, they ask him like, "Oh, how you doing? I'm getting better, but I'm not 100%." Like,
well, I mean, I think the quote is that he's like, "I'm like 100-person or 100-year-old man during the end of the world" or something. I don't think he says anything about his mind because I think he's fixed. That's why they bring him out of the chamber and stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why he's out living his life without an arm.
Because they're going to prove everyone wrong. Anyway.
But again, if that was the case, if he wasn't fully fixed, that could have been another story arc that they could have touched on if they gave him the Captain America mantle. Because then it'd be like, oh, Captain America is evil. We have to stop him, and then Sam Wilson comes in. It could have been a whole arc about how Captain America wouldn't have worked for Bucky, and that's why we have Sam.
I think we're getting that though, but that's another thing. It's like that would be almost going backwards in the story of Bucky because you're making him a bad guy again for no reason. So, but they are doing because U.S. Agent is going to be in it, and he's going to be run by. Yeah. I'm guessing it's the start of the Thunderbolts, and it's going to be Thunderbolt Ross leading this evil team. Well, not evil team of good guys. So
I can't wait.
So it's like we are getting that, but with a different person. But you guys are crazy if there's not going to be teases of like him catching the shield and stuff like that. They're going to have so many of those in that show. It's going to drive people insane. Oh, yeah. But it's like. I mean, the dude was a terrorist. The dude killed the Starks. Like, it's kind of hard to be like, he's Captain America. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's cool.
I get that.
I get that.
All right. Sorry.
I get it.
So much
I love Sebastian Stan, and I love the Winter Soldier. It's one of my favorite characters. I love him.
John, do you stand
I do.
Sebastian Stan?
I
Sorry,
do.
I had to.
It was a nice
I
dad
had to.
joke. It was a nice dad joke.
If you guys don't know, I am a
It's
walking
true.
dad joke.
I'm loving the vibes.
But okay,
Alright,
Felipe and Abe.
I don't even need these
What
glasses.
what do you guys think about the whole Black Adam, like the little trailers and JSA coming?
I am too a wrestling mark, obviously. The idea of someone that big crossing over into like another universe that I love is fucking amazing. I've always loved that idea. I know how much The Rock has pursued this role, how much he's pitched the idea for it, etc., etc. My only concern is that he is playing The Rock Johnson. If I agree with Joel that it can't be like it can't be The Rock. Like you know what I mean? Like he needs to like step it up. He's a great actor, but I mean like
Needs to be more
The
serious.
Rock
Yeah.
is obviously his persona
Yeah.
that The Rock is, right? I think he needs to like bottle that up and like draw from somewhere that maybe we don't know for him personally, but it's just that character gets so mean and so evil and The Rock can do both, I guess, kind of. But it's just, I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm sold on it, but not like fully sold on it.
Right.
I think the cast is great. Again, names that I didn't think we would ever see on a big screen.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Shazam definitely gave me more of like a want for it, like the final like 7 chair shot. Like, hey, who the hell's missing? Like that's gonna be great. My biggest takeaway was just him like cutting a WWE promo on like the rest of the universe. Like that was great.
I
Like,
mean, honestly, that
Yeah.
like I see her.
no, it was great. Like, I just give me Henry Cavill versus Dwayne The Rock Johnson right now, and call it the Black Adam movie.
What's gonna come first? Is it Shazam 2 or Black Adam?
I think it's Black Adam. I'm gonna double check for you. You can carry on and all.
I think before COVID happened, it definitely was supposed to be Black Adam.
Yeah.
But who knows now with
Oh, coach.
yeah. I mean, honestly, the only thing I will say is, as much as I don't want them to be The Rock, like, I want at least 2 rock bottom. What I mean.
Oh, come on.
If I don't get
Didn't we get it in
I'm
Fast and
gonna be
Furious?
upset.
Didn't he do it a few times?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
dude. He
sure.
rock bottoms that full the table, and the camera spins with the dude getting slammed. It was like the most epic. I love.
Okay, so yeah, Black Adam is first. So it's Wonder Woman, then maybe Justice League, probably Justice League because I would assume it comes before summer. Then next, a year from now, is the Suicide Squad, and then the Batman the following October, and then Black Adam is supposed to be that December. So a year from this December is when it's supposed to come out. I mean, yeah, dude. Oh, and then Shazam is in November, so it's the one directly after Shazam. Or directly after Black Adam. Or like an after credit scene or something, yeah.
Movie like twist to like, oh, there's magic being somewhere else, but maybe they turn the roles and it's like Black Adam recognizing the magic. I don't know.
Maybe.
I feel like the impact would be like Dwayne showing up in a Shazam movie instead of like
Yeah, because what's
Shazam.
the name of the Shazam movie? Isn't it called Fight of the Gods or
Fury
something?
of the Gods, yeah.
Fury of the Gods.
Fury of the Gods. So I feel like maybe if anything, Black Adam might be the protagonist in the second Shazam movie.
well, there's the post credit scene in Shazam where it's what's his name, like
Oh, the mini guy, the little insect thing.
The little worm guy. Yeah, not the Legion of Doom, but like the other section of bad guys.
Yeah.
so that's cool.
Right,
I just think I don't know.
Or just like a whole
Yeah,
other
it's
like
one of those movies
section.
where I'm like, I think it's gonna be cool, but it can definitely like if Dwayne the Rock Johnson plays like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, like it can totally like miss the
Yeah, it'll
miss
miss
the
or
one.
it'll overshadow the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Like he did Hobbs and Shaw, and he did a good job of staying in the Fast and the Furious,
Yeah,
like that character that
Yeah.
he created.
Yeah.
So that gives me faith.
Yeah.
That he was still Dwayne the Rock Johnson, but he stayed in fucking character. You know what I mean? And he stayed
Yeah.
in the world. They still used like 2 ridiculous car scenes. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so
ridiculous is almost an
I hope-
understatement, but yes.
Bro, Rampage.
I didn't watch that one actually.
I actually liked it. It was a good ride.
I was more I enjoyed it more than I thought it would. Dude.
Yeah, right. It was like, okay, this is interesting, and then like
It's one of those movies. For me,
Honestly, sorry.
one of those movies that I think I'm just gonna watch Rampage when I find it like for free on the internet.
I
don't know how
literally
I feel about that movie.
I only watched it because it was free on a flight.
There you go.
but I watched it and I was like, okay, yeah, I should have given this a chance in theaters because
Yeah.
honestly, it probably would have sounded pretty amazing in theaters.
Yeah,
that's fair.
it was better produced than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you want to just see The Rock in just ridiculous action sequences over and over and over and over again, we're all talking about the wrong movie. Go watch San
Oh
Andreas.
man.
I was
He
just
is
gonna
like-
say,
God.
He
yeah.
is like the cheese line that's been done 1,000 times, but like you're like, dude, I want to be rescued by the Rock. After you watch that movie, you're like, I want to put myself in peril in another universe to be rescued by that guy.
I didn't
Like-
mind. I didn't mind that skyscraper movie, the one where he has like a fucked up leg or like a missing half a leg or whatever.
Oh yeah,
That's
that was
pretty
sick too, dude. So much fire, so much explosion.
Yeah,
Fire.
it was just a rock movie, 100%.
Because it was funny because he did the interview for that. He's like, I want to make it, standard Dwayne the Rock Johnson action movie, but then I want to combine it with Die Hard, and that's what this movie is. And I was like, motherfucker, you said Die Hard in the interview about the movie. So if I watch this and if I'm disappointed, like that's gonna cost you money. And I watched it and I was like, this is fucking bad.
Yeah, like I watched it and I was like, I'm not mad that I watched it. It's not like it was
exactly.
groundbreaking or anything, but I was like, yeah, that was a good watch.
I mean, honestly, what is groundbreaking these days?
I mean, a lot of movies, man. What are you talking about?
Parasite.
Yeah, dude, I watched Parasite last night for the first time, and that movie blew my mind.
I have not seen it.
A Quiet Place,
You gotta watch
pretty
it.
groundbreaking.
It's-
There's like no sound to that movie, and it's one of the most tense-driven movies I've ever seen in my life. I've never been in a more quiet movie theater ever. Oh, Endgame, Infinity War. You're gonna tell me those aren't groundbreaking? Come on.
Endgame.
Oh,
Parasite.
So there's a lot of groundbreaking movies.
That movie doesn't count. Like there's movies. There's like, listen,
And then
Sean,
there's
there's like
Endgame.
movies. Here's movies. Here's movies. Here's Endgame and the original Star Wars films. And they only fucking the very first Fast and the Furious, dude.
Well,
Like that's it. You know what I mean?
You lost.
Like,
yeah, Dark Knight. Come on.
yeah, Dark Knight's above. Like it's in that same.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
Like
'Cause I'm gonna say, man, Empire. I'll give Empire all the credit in the world ever, but The New Hope.
Sean, let's not, Sean, let's not. Sean, we're gonna get really off track.
I know.
Oh man.
I don't want to get. I don't want to get down that road.
Star Wars, it's going down.
I'm gonna
Then
go
you
in,
guys go.
I'm
You
gonna
guys
go in
go
the
Star Wars
bathroom and come
podcast,
out in like
right?
a muscle shirt. Then I'm just gonna fucking fly there and super kick you in the fucking jugular. Dude. Like,
All right. Okay. Well,
right.
next story.
So this one I kind of combined a bunch. We kind of talked about a little bit, but they announced the title of the next Shazam movie, Shazam: Fury of the Gods, and then they had a short Aquaman panel. Pretty much James Wan saying Aquaman 2 is going to be more serious, and then one of the most confusing statements is that it's going to be more aligned with what's happening in the world. I don't know how they're going to do that in the ocean, but I guess we'll see. Pandemic in the
I
ocean?
think I was gonna say
Cops
it's
in the
not gonna
ocean?
Be like
Face
political.
smacked in the ocean.
Yeah.
It's
No,
not
I-
gonna be political. It's gonna be environmental.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I think it's
yeah,
gonna
that's fair.
be. I think it's gonna be.
I think
the
it's gonna be both.
It's really just going
I
to
think it's
be
gonna be-
police brutality in the ocean.
I think it's gonna be
Just kidding.
racism because
Yeah.
I think because they showed a lot of the concept footage of what's the other? What's the other race of people that share the sea with the Atlantans?
There's like a lot of them.
Okay,
The
but there's the
Williams-
main one. There's the main one where they're like using each other.
The
But then
Williams Brothers.
Yeah. Yes. There's like if you go watch the last animated Aquaman, it's like Justice
Yeah.
League: The Rise of Atlantis or something like that.
Mhm.
Like there's people that have always lived with the Atlanteans, almost like slaves, but not
Oh,
like
so
they.
it's gonna be like a class thing.
So I think it's gonna be them because that Black Manta is like on their side. Like so, Black Manta is still alive after Aquaman,
Yeah.
and he goes and like is like with them and is like, you can rise up. Like Aquaman's not here; he's busy with the Justice League.
Right,
So
so I'm getting a little
He did.
shine and light on the Atlanteans as not
They're not
great.
perfect. They're not perfect.
Yeah. So that has me interested. It's kind of like a Black Panther type of arc, but
I also want to
It's gonna be
note
them
that
being like-
Abe is frozen on Twitch for some reason because he's not frozen in Skype, but it's a really great freeze frame.
oh, he's like this, right,
Yeah.
or something.
It's his fingers. It's like he's making a really good point. I just wanted to point it out because it's amazing. I don't know why. It's just hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's like, listen here.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
That's
Uh,
funny.
Okay.
I just had to bring attention to it. It was great.
No.
But yeah, no, that's a good point. I really just wanted to make. I just really wanted to make a pandemic and police brutality and ocean joke.
I mean, it could be like a weird Black Panther, like
Oh yeah.
it's for good instead of like because I feel like that was the internal struggle of like T'Challa in that movie. Like, obviously, his dad wasn't like as I don't know. A kid looks up to their dad in a certain way, right? So,
Yeah.
but maybe that's the role for Arthur in this movie
Yeah,
that
maybe.
they kind of switched around.
Well, yeah, because obviously, like
knows, but, I mean-
he wasn't even accepted by his people anyway because he was like a half breed
Yeah.
or whatever. So
It was mixed,
that
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That can make sense. Good point, Joel. Very good point.
Yeah, and like they said, it was the issues with his parents. Like I saw that comment or something. I could have sworn that was on the actual panel where I read that, where he said like they're going to address like the mess of his parents.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
So
I just want more Black.
His parents his dad is a fucking Boba Fett himself. Well, Jango Fett, right? Yeah, Jango Fett.
Yeah.
About to be the current Boba Fett, but
yeah,
he's just a human, and then his mom was obviously the queen of Atlantis.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the whole thing, is that he was half human. Whatever.
yeah.
You know.
I could
Yeah.
definitely see that being played out in the
Yeah.
with today's age of like, discriminating and whatnot.
Yeah, it definitely.
Discriminating and class difference. The clash.
Yeah.
The class clashes.
Yeah, and there was another few things. They were like smaller stories because there wasn't much to go off other than the announcement. But this is really cool. Speaking of like racism and stuff like that, they announced a new book with a black Batman, which is fucking sick. And then they also have a Static Shock movie in production, which I loved that fucking show when I was a kid. And Joel,
Yeah, and I think they're rebooting the comics.
yes, they're doing like it's like a whole line. I can't remember the name of it, but they're doing like a whole new line with a new Static Shock book and everything.
Hell.
Joel, someone brought this up on a podcast I listened to this week, and as soon as they said it, I was like, "Holy fuck!" They were like, when the CW verse or like the Arrowverse kind of started taking off. It's wild that they didn't do Static Shock rather than like instead of Black Lightning or something like that.
Well, so when they announced Black Lightning, everybody, when it was like leaked what they were doing, everybody thought it was Static Shock. And then they said there was something about. They said there was something about acquiring the property from Disney, is the TV show.
Wow.
Or was it not Disney? Whatever the other company, maybe it's Fox, because like remember there used to be a Static Shock cartoon.
That was on
like Fox Saturday morning or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there was something with the rights because CW doesn't have anything to do with Fox. Oh, because I remember they had joked about doing Static Shock, and I think there's even an interview where they asked Stephen Amell if that's the new coming, and he like chuckles and doesn't respond because like it's almost like that's who they wanted they wanted to do Static Shock because like I could totally see Stephen Amell being behind like, yes, I want a young up and coming black superhero in the show.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? I could totally see him being about that, but.
And then also they had a Titans panel, which Joel and I have talked about Titans quite a bit. But in season 3, they introduced Jason Todd in season 1, and as soon as they said Jason Todd, it was like right around the time I was like learning more about Red Hood and stuff. I was like, he's gonna become Red Hood at some point. I didn't think it'd be at season 3, but the way it kind of ends makes sense. And it's funny. This is not a spoiler, but I mean, I guess it kind of is a spoiler. But they tease him getting killed by Deathstroke in season 2, and I was like, Red Hood. It's going to happen. Then he gets saved.
Yeah.
He gets saved or whatever. But I was like, damn it. I was like, we're still going to get it eventually. I don't even care. But they announced that Jason Todd's going to become Red Hood in the 3rd season, and that Blackfire is going to be an antagonist, which is obvious. It's brought up in season 2 anyway. That's kind of how it ends, and they have a conflict between Starfire and Blackfire throughout season 2. Then they also announced that they're going back to Gotham, and then Barbara Gordon is going to be involved, and so will Scarecrow. Very sick.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we're getting that. Barbara Gordon's back.
I don't know, because the reports when it first came out,
Oracle?
It made it seem like she was Oracle, but then in the panel they said that she's like the commissioner. So I don't even know if she's going to be like Oracle. It almost seems like it's going to be a new like Batman Jim Gordon relationship. That's how they described it. But it's going to be Nightwing and Barbara Gordon instead.
Well, yeah, it's like they're making up for the mistakes of their father. Is like the little line I heard him use. So maybe because I mean she's still a detective though, even in the comics, right? Batgirl's a detective during the day.
Yeah, until she gets shot by the Joker. Yes.
and then she becomes Oracle, right? She's in the chair or whatever. Yeah.
She's like both.
Well,
she's like Batgirl and a cop, and
Yeah. The thing is like I don't know if they're gonna do the. Oh, we're all frozen on your stream, Sean.
Really? Up on mine, we're all good.
Oh, okay. Let me refresh.
Well, except actually, Felipe might be. Nope, he's not. No. He was just very still. No, you're fine. I was just like, is he frozen?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know a lot about Batgirl, and I don't know a lot about like Red Hood. Like you and I were texting the other day, Sean. Apparently, there's a Red Robin now. Like I don't know if that's Red Hood's sidekick or an Robin.
Red Robin is Tim Drake.
Oh yes,
I think it's Tim Drake.
Yes,
after
yes.
Titans, because
Tim Drake. He's
another iteration. He's
Robin.
He's the one before Damian, after Jason Todd, and then before Damian. Before he like adopts the kid and makes him become Robin or whatever, or has a kid and makes him become Robin. I think it's different in different iterations, but yeah,
there's many a Robin.
Yeah, okay. There's like but yeah, the Red Robin is just like it's basically that Robin's.
Like after he leaves, That's why I thought too. But I wasn't too sure. But yeah, Red Hood is like it's obviously gonna be way different in the Titan show. But like I was texting you about it because you said you didn't know much about it. But Red Hood pretty much Joker kills Robin and Batman thinks he's dead. But he's not. He comes back as this crazy vigilante, but he like takes over all the crimes. Yeah. He like literally becomes a crime lord to take it over. And he goes after he goes after Batman because he's like, you did not avenge me. You didn't kill the Joker. You're the reason Gotham is so fucked up because you won't kill anyone. And it's like that's like the big thing. It's like you are constantly causing your own problems and the problems of the city that you have sworn to protect. And then eventually they kind of have this big blowout and he's like, no, like I can't kill people, blah, blah, blah. Like, and they kind of have an understanding and he pretty much becomes another Nightwing pretty much to, he's just like, I can't work. Yeah. I can't work with you, but I will.
Yeah, and isn't the big thing none of the other
straight up like he is like Batman if he was like because he's obviously was trained by he's like Flashpoint Batman. He was like obviously trained by Batman, but he doesn't play by Batman's rules. He plays by his own fucking rules.
Yeah,
he's fucking sick.
Yeah, so you have like Nightwing who's in the middle, and then you have Batman who's on or
Yep.
one side. And then you
Yeah,
have Red
yeah.
Hood
Nightwing is like
right?
exactly the middle.
Yeah, the only reason I even brought up Red Robin, Sean, is because it's actually really good. It's fun. I don't know if you guys have seen Batman Ninja.
I've heard of it,
Oh,
but I
dude,
haven't watched it.
great.
Oh, I've been wanting to see
It's
that.
great.
Yeah, so like basically they get sucked into future.
Oh my god.
And then
It's
so
awesome.
and so like Penguin, all of them are different like crime lords.
Oh my
in
god,
feudal
that's
Japan.
amazing.
Yeah, and
It's
so
really good.
yeah, but then some of Batman's technology there, so all all the crime lords. So it's just, but then so when showdown happens, the whole time you're like, it's just Batman, and then all of a sudden there's like fucking Red Hood, Red Wing, and Damian are all there, and I'm like, who the fuck is Red Robin? Why the fuck is he in feudal Japan? Batman? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and so I was like, fuck, because I had already known, like, you know, him and Red Hood come to an understanding because they both want to just save Gotham in their own ways. Like I'd already paid enough attention that I knew that, but I was like, who the fuck is Red Robin? Does Red Hood get his own Robin? Like, what? You know what I mean?
No, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
And that was part 1, guys. Part 2, if you're listening to this as it come out, it's going to drop in a few days. So part 2 is going to focus on the Suicide Squad and the Batman. Of course, if you want to support the podcast, you can follow us on social media at Metalcore Nerds. You can join the secret Facebook group, the Metalcore Nerds Facebook group. Subscribe and rate my Apple Podcasts. Follow on Spotify. Share the stuff on social media. Tell your friend. You can follow our new Twitch channel. We've been doing live episodes there, twitch.tv/Metalcore Nerds. And the leftovers of the merch will be put up as soon as the pre-orders get shipped out. So hopefully in about a week or two, that'll get settled and the leftovers will get put up. Thanks for the support as always. And until next time, this is Metalcore Nerds.